And I want to speak to somebody today who feels like life is crushing you. How many of you would say, honestly, in front of the people in your row, I feel like I am in one of the low seasons of life right now? Anybody feel like that's where you are today? Circumstances went sideways. Things started happening in your life that you didn't have control over. Things have been done, things have been said, you've been mistreated. Times got hard enough that you actually now feel like you're alone on the run in the desert, and that nobody understands what it feels like to you, that life is crushing you.
Life doesn't stop for you to hurt. It doesn't stop turning because you lost a loved one. It doesn't stop because you don't feel good. It won't give you a leave of absence so that you can get away from everything and shut it all down. It's still happening. The bills are still coming. The problems are still coming. I'm talking about crushing people. I'm talking about pain. I'm talking about suffering. I'm talking about where the rubber meets the road. I'm not talking about church. I'm not talking about religion. I'm talking about life. Jesus didn't say, I come that you might have church. He said, I come that you might have life. And sometimes we're great at having church, but we're having a terrible time having life. We know how to clap, we know how to sing, we know how to shout, but do we know how to live?
Man, for the most part, whatever pain you're facing, whatever challenge you're enduring, Jesus has been there. And today specifically, we're gonna be talking about when you just wanna quit. You wanna throw in the towel. But I wanna encourage you today in that you got this. It's gonna be okay. Don't quit. I know many of us would say, we don't want lives that are full of pain, full of heartache, questioning. Nobody would want that. But there's a conundrum in our life, and I'll explain it like this. Anything worth doing is gonna be hard. And when we face opposition, a lot of times we find ourselves wanting to quit. But the problem is you can never get to the end product if you don't go through the process of pain, okay? So, you wanna be a champion? Well, it's gonna be hard. Wanna be a good leader? It's hard. Wanna be a parent? Woo, that's hard.
You see, in order to develop real quality, it takes time. And it takes pain, and it takes endurance, and it takes grief, and it takes trouble, and it takes turmoil, and it takes destruction and demolition.
One of the things to do right away when you're hurting is to ask God for comfort. You have not because you ask not. And the Bible says that God is the God of all comfort, and He comforts us in our trials and tribulations, so we can then use the same comfort He gave us to comfort other people who are hurting. Isn't that good? So I've learned when I'm hurting, I ask God to comfort me. I don't blame somebody else because they're not doing it. I ask God to do it. Anytime that we're in trouble, we always need to remember to keep walking in love. And boy, I tell you, when you've got something bad going on in your life, you want to just withdraw and feel sorry for yourself, and you certainly don't feel like doing anything for anybody else. You want somebody to do something for you.
But I want you to follow me. Peter, don't quit. I can hear it in Jesus' voice. Peter, don't quit. Don't go get on that boat. I know you feel like you're not enough, Peter, but don't quit. I know, Peter, what it feels like to experience loss, but don't quit. I know the sting of betrayal, Peter, but don't quit. You see, Jesus was not wrong when He called Peter the rock. Peter just had to go through a process of pain in order to become the rock that God needed him to be. Because you see, in the context of that forgiveness, all of a sudden a new day of service dawned for Peter, because Peter didn't quit. You could say on the other side of your pain, there is a Pentecost coming if you don't quit. If you don't quit. So you want a great marriage? Don't quit. You feel like you want to stop praying for that person? Don't quit. Are you having a hard time connecting with God right now? Don't quit. Keep pressing. Keep seeking Him. Do you want to give up on yourself like Peter? Failed one too many times, you feel like? Jesus can forgive more than you can fail. Don't quit.